best news, nonsense, and my personal adventures from right here in the amazing Impact Power Sports studio. I'm curious if everything is as it's supposed to be on your end as you check out the show live. I was thrown off because Hurricane Ashley wrote, "Is there sound? I can't hear anything." And everybody else has sound. Let me ask you this, Hurricane Ashley. Did you do the usual troubleshooting on your end to determine if there was anything wrong? Or was your first thing to write, "Is the sound?" Because I'm guessing it was an operator error issue. God damn it. You know what it does for me on my end? When you write, "Oh my God, it's fucking shit. Is this sound?" On my end, I'm like, am I doing something wrong? When really, all it is you have to turn the volume up, and then you see what you did there. You see what you put into motion. And by the way, what's this new trend of you when I start busting your balls of, "Oh my God, be nice"? When has that ever been in your toolbox? And then this idea that she's floated once or twice that I refuse to accept about, "You got me fired. Isn't that enough?" There is no fucking way in hell I got you fired. There's no way. I'll tell you straight up, I don't believe you. You're either, what do you call it? Going back and reconstructing history, or you're lying. Those are the only two things they can be. So that's the last time that we need to hear, "Oh my God, you got me fired." Molly says, "What happened to Friday's show?" Well, I posted a not the best of the Eric Zane Show podcast on Friday. I didn't do one because I had to travel. I hope that's okay. Ashley now says, "I'm leaving. This isn't the day for me." Oh, my God. Would you please put on your big girl pants? I mean, a mild ball busting over you saying, "Is this sound?" is not the end of the world. Size of the problem, Ashley. Size of the problem, your reaction. Size of the problem, small. Your reaction, large, which is my new mantra. Well, actually, it's my old mantra, but I'm bringing it back around. So you see on the, when I started the show, I titled it on the live stream. What the fuck was that? I forgot what the hell I wrote. What is the title of this show? Top story. Listeners reporting free beer on air breakdown. Okay. So this is trickling in bits of information. But this is what I observed. A listener reached out and at 7:38 and wrote a show note. Because remember, for top story for these free beer and hot wings show, I should say, who are these free beers show that we do? My review show for my favorite morning show, Ben Glaze and I. We are big fans. We are fancy idiots, and we love them. And we do a review show where we listen to clips, and we ball bust, and it's great, and we give credit where it's due occasionally. But all in all, it's a roast. Thank you, Carl. So I instructed you to listen to their show, and if something happens, something interesting, something worth parking on or roasting on our show, please pass it along. This person did that exact thing. But the problem is, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is what the person wrote. FBHW today, O'Neill, no, at 7:35 a.m., free beer gets testy with Tommy. Similar to that time when he yelled at the intern who wasn't picking up the phone, when he said, "When these light up, you answer this," from years ago. Well, that person who sent that to me somehow originally sent that into the show. So on their end, they're the first ones to see that message. So Greg would look at the text machine and he would read, "Free beer and hot wings today at 7:35 a.m. Free beer gets testy with Tommy." So he's probably like, wait, was this meant for me? And why is someone like reporting that I did something that may or may not have been rude or something to have fun with? I have no idea what he thought. I'm not in his brain, thank God. In my mind, I'm hoping and praying that he's like, oh, God, somebody sent this shit into Eric Zane for them to make fun of me. And then this person wrote to me that text, sent it to me after sending it to Greg first, and then wrote, "Oops, I texted that to FBHW first, and then I sent it to you." And then he writes, "And then, Easy, at 8:06, Free Beer kind of had a little breakdown. Then says, I think I caused it because he specifically mentioned being mean to Tommy." Well, for starters, let's back up. Now, I haven't heard it. I haven't had time. I was doing my own show at the time, so I'll have to go back and listen. But from what I've picked up on this young man named Tommy, sounds like a salt-of-the-earth, sweet soul, friendly, affable. I don't know a bit about how great or not great the person is on the air because they're new. It would take years of you can't judge that person. And but I will say this, seems to fit in nicely, gets along with the audience and with the crew, and likable, in my opinion. Doesn't seem in any way a problem. And I can't figure out for the life of me why anybody would ever get upset at someone like that. Except Greg. You never know. So I think he showed his ass there. And then, shortly thereafter, mentioned being mean to Tommy. Maybe this person's text got to him. Maybe he got in his own head. I don't know. I'm anxious to find out. I texted that to them on accident. I mean, instead of to you. I wrote, haha. You mean that first text was texted into the show? Wah ha 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 ha. You probably fucked him up. This person wrote, yes, I said that to them and got the auto response and thought, oh shit, I think I spun him out. Keep listening for 10 minutes or so after 8:05. So this went on. One of you who was in the chat was the one who sent it along. I think I might have tipped you off as to who it was. I don't know why I'm keeping it close to the vest, because it's not like anything can happen to him. It was just an observation. Okay, it was Chris. It was Chris K, for God's sake. What am I doing? The fuck am I being so secretive about it? Then... Hold on. Quit! On my favorite Reddit subreddit, the FBHW page, someone wrote, what did Free Beer share at the top of hour 3 this morning? So, at what I was just talking about, this person is like, wait a minute. Right before Dumber Than the Show, Free Beer thanked listeners for their support and kind words. about what he shared earlier in the show. What was it? Well, what he shared, from what I'm understanding, according to this thread, is that he addressed being mean to Tommy. This person says he talked about self-help. And then there's a couple other comments that I think are just silly. I don't know. Maybe he's coming unglued because he realizes his hair looks like fuck. I could only guess. But if it's, I want to speculate, but again, I need to listen to this. I want to hear how much of a jerk he was to Tommy. It wouldn't surprise me if he was a jerk to Tommy, if he had someone edit that portion out so that it'll never see the light of day. That sounds about right. That would not be a surprise at all. So, wow. All right. There you go. Adam writes, I want to text in and ask Freebeer why he thinks he deserves more money than Hot Wings. Well, in reality, he does. Let's be honest here. He does deserve more money than Hot Wings. Tommy deserves to make more money than Hot Wings. Jesus. Bob says this morning Freebeer got fussy. He heard it with Tommy over if a Jimbo needed the harmonizer or not. Chris says he went on for a while, losing weight, his mental health, therapy, antidepressants, etc., etc. That's weird because he's been talking like a lot because he was on a diet for like 10 days and he lost like 10 pounds and he was making a huge deal about it. I mean, it's like every fucking time he opened his mouth, he's talking about diet, diet, diet. And then lately he's been talking about how he's falling off of the diet like everybody does. And how, so there's that. I don't know what the fuck. I don't understand how if you're having a bad day, you lump all of that in together. Losing weight, his mental health, therapy, antidepressants. He also has indicated that he's cutting back on antidepressants, on antidepressant medication like Zoloft, which I tried that once, and that fucked me up. So I took more. Nowhere in there am I seeing anything about he's depressed over his fucking hair. All that other stuff is not nearly as impactful as that goddamn haircut. The sound you hear is Darla scratching at the chair trying to make a nest. What are you doing? Just lay down. Doing that hasn't done anything to it. It's just, it's your instinct. She's probably going to start growling at me in a second. Megan reports for everyone in the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. She has an update. When we did that show on Thursday, she was unpacking a 24-pack of Drumsticks ice cream treats. She predicted they'd be gone in record time. They are gone. You are right. What your family, those kids are all eating machines. And probably Brian, too, who doesn't find me funny somehow. I don't understand how that is. How could he not find me funny? Rich writes, the Burn King's next divorce could be closing in. She would not be divorcing him. She'd be divorcing his hair. And that would be grounds for divorce, frankly. If the Burn King got in front of the judge with Coleman's ex-wife and said, okay, what's going on here? Yeah, Coleman's ex-wife wants to file for divorce from this guy right here. And the judge would go, okay, all custody, goes to Coleman's wife. And I'm going to set precedent here. Instead of giving half of the assets to Coleman's wife, you have to give all of the assets to Coleman's wife for pain and suffering caused by your fucking hair. Or you're going to prison for life. It would have been a standard divorce had you not looked like a greasy-haired homeless person with that rat's nest wispy bullshit atop your balding dome. For fuck's sake. All right. So I cannot wait to get my hands on that audio. And to think, so basically what that is that an example, and I'm only speculating now, you have a shit fit, a goddamn temper tantrum on the air to a 21-year-old entry-level employee and make him look like an asshole. And then a short time later, you start throwing out that you're struggling with your mental health. Is that what we're supposed to believe? That that's the reason why you're having a goddamn temper tantrum? I'm about to have a temper tantrum because of Darla. What are you doing? It's a perfectly comfortable chair. Just sit in it. You don't have to dig at it like you're digging a hole. What does that even mean? I wish I had puppy camera right here so I could show you the side eye I'm getting. Are you okay? She might need some love. So I'm going to do that right now. And I know you guys love it when I do this. Come here, big girl. Oh, what a big girl. What a big girl. What a big girl. Okay, so sometimes our big girl needs some love. So I kind of got to do the show like this. She's licking the microphone. All right. Sometimes she needs hugs. Now, I know some of you are like, she's gigantic. Look at this squish. Look at that. It feels as good as you think it would. But this is the most undersized bulldog I have ever seen in my life. Ever. She's just north of 40 pounds. All right. Molly says, I turned the video on just to see her. Kenney, Fluffy Kenney says, sometimes I need hugs too, Darla. I don't get them, but I need them. Centipede, wrap your 100 legs around me and hold me tight. Okay, so how lucky am I that I get to hug this pooch whenever I want to? This is so much better than Stu McAllister, who when his dog does stuff that he doesn't like, he just screams at the dog like a psychopath. Sarah says, I'm on vacation this week. I should come be Darla's hug caregiver. She might need you. Okay, I'm going to put her down. Oh, what a big girl. What a big girl. Come here, big girl. Oh, dear. Okay, night-night. Got the grout fit going today. Corey says, Kenney never misses an opportunity to say something depressing. Yeah, sometimes. Well, except replace sometimes with all the time. Kenney responds with, Corey never misses an opportunity to say something stupid. That's kind of true. I got dog hair in my mouth. Jesus. Heads up, I have a staff meeting, Q100 staff meeting. 26 minutes. I got it down now. Normally it's on a Monday. Excuse me, but they changed it to a Tuesday. I had a great time today. Played a Tom Petty song. Easily the most recognizable voice in music, Tom Petty. And song of this, the lyrics of this song by Tom Petty started out with, let's see. Well, my dad took me camping out under the stars, left me by the fire while he hit the bars. Well, I broke my finger on a trailer hitch. Mama called daddy a son of a bitch. All right. And that starts the song called The Wrong Thing to Do. Great song, actually by Mudcrutch, Tom Petty's first band. Now, not everybody knows that song, but everybody on the planet knows that it's Tom Petty because his singing style is so distinct. His voice is so unique, or was so unique. And then I get a random email from fuckface Kenney with, oh my God, what the fuck is up with that song about going camping? I turned it off. It's a stupid country song. What a Neanderthal-ish view of music you have. So because the lyrics are, well, my daddy took me camping out under the stars, left me by the fire while he hit the bars. Well, I broke my finger on a trailer hitch. Mama called daddy a son of a bitch. It's a story. Just so because he mentioned camping, you think it's worthy of shutting it off? You might be one of the most retarded people when it comes to musical taste I've ever witnessed in my life. God. He writes, no, dummy, it was the style. I hated it. It's Tom Petty's style. Tom Petty's his own fucking style. It's like Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, Bob Dylan, Tom Petty. Legendary. Why do you hate everything that's good and love everything that sucks? Holy shit, you have the worst taste of everything. God. It's no wonder why you're attracted to women with ALS. That's the true thing. We talked about it on the Patreon yesterday. Kenney downloaded a dating app called Women of ALS. Chris says, well, it's no douchebag Daryl. I can't go that far. I like Dimebag Daryl. Dimebag Daryl is legendary, you know? Here's the thing. I like a lot of the things that Kenney likes that are musically sound, like a Dimebag Daryl, but he doesn't reciprocate. He just likes shit, with a few exceptions. Kenney announces to Chris that you're on the list. You better be careful, because if Kenney flips out, you're going to get... I'm not even a friend of his on Facebook. He unfriended me and banned me because I happened to mention something from his stupid dramatic world, and he was butthurt by that. So now I just go ahead and wait for people to screenshot it and send it to me. So you'd be better off just accepting my friend request, which I did. I don't know why you wouldn't want me to be your friend. I mean, I'm a wonderful friend. I'm the best friend anybody could ever have. Everybody knows it. Aram says that's crazy. I know. That's what I thought. That's it. I'm dropping a hammer on you, fucking son of a bitch. Okay. For the folks on Facebook and X, you got to go. You've got to go. You're only here because I was talking about Free Beer's meltdown anyway. Because that's the only thing worth talking about on that show. So welcome to you, but it's time for you to leave. If you want the full show, you got to go to twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live, or you can download the Twitch app and watch that way. The show continues for quite some time today. Audio podcast is always available wherever you download shows. Just search out my name on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever you want. All right, so I'm sending you on your way. Thank you as well to Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. They sponsor Twitch and they sponsor Facebook. Thank you, thank you, thank you. X brought to you by Blue Frost IT. Follow me on those platforms and on my YouTube channel and Instagram. Thank you. The open and live stream of today's show brought to you by Green Medicine Shop. These folks are awesome. So let's start with this. The only people who can consume cannabis in Michigan are 21 and up. Unless if you have a med card. Get the med card, 18 to 21, from thegreenmedicineshop.com. Sign up there. Now, you're going to pay $90 to get that med card. It involves a phone call and a little bit of your time to get your med card. Once you get it, and really all you need is a number, and you're going to get that during your phone call, and then they will send you a physical copy of your med card. But once you get your med card number, you march into the store and say, yeah, I got my med card. I just got it through your website. Okay, you get a $100 in-store credit. So you wind up ahead on that deal. That extra $10 can go to gas because you got to travel to Greenville to visit the Green Medicine Shop. Cannabis, medicinal cannabis, less yeast, less mold, not as harsh of a effect on your throat and lungs when you take your big, nasty drag off of that thing. And there you go. Green Medicine Shop, online at thegreenmedicineshop.com. They've got all the edibles you could possibly want, CBD products, and cannabis that you can check out with thegreenmedicineshop.com in Greenville, Michigan. How about my friend Frank Fuss? Buyinsurancehere.com. That's where you need to go if you have anything insurance related. Life, home, car, auto, renters, Obamacare, whatever it is, preparing for your retirement, Social Security, Medicare. They've got it all. If you or someone you know or love is getting set to retire, the one thing you absolutely want to take care of, probably first, is making sure that your Social Security has all the T's crossed and the I's dotted, that your Medicare is up and running so that when you finally do cross over into the retirement threshold, all of that is taken care of. Frank minds the store for you. He does all that shit for you. You never do anything. I know people who've retired and they didn't know that something like this existed, and then they had to do it themselves, and it sucked. It took like 5 years off of their life. Have Frank do it, and the best part is it costs nothing. Frank's services are free. He gets paid by insurance companies. Buyinsurancehere.com for more details and to schedule an appointment. That's buyinsurancehere.com. Thank you to the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. From anywhere in the U.S., you can get your mortgage. That's right. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage, 231-332-6505. Get started today. NMLS number 3035. Maybe it's your first mortgage. Maybe you've done this before. Maybe you just want to get money out of your home to pay off a credit card, put on a new roof, home project, buy a hot tub, whatever it may be. 231-332-6505 from anywhere in the U.S. for the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. It looks like Darla has settled down. You're going to have to excuse me because it's getting a little toasty in here, and I have to lose this hoodie. Getting a little warm. Hopefully you won't see my fat. This is always a struggle. Okay. Make sure it doesn't mess up my hair. As I sit before you, I continue to have this numbing sensation and tingling in my hand on a regular interval. I did the one thing you're not supposed to do. I let my brain convince me that I have ALS. So I'm driving down the road, hand goes numb, and it's been happening more and more. Starts up here, goes down through my bicep, through my forearm, and then terminates. Probably shouldn't use the word terminates. Ends in my hand, specifically pins and needles in my index finger and my thumb. Feels weak. What the fuck has happened to me? Well, it's got to be ALS because it's increasing in frequency, and this is the way my brain works. So then, I actually, as I'm driving, have a scenario of like me looking like Stephen Hawking. I'm in a wheelchair. I'm all contorted and fucked up. Trying to do a podcast with my robot voice. Welcome to the show. Go fuck yourself, Kenney. How the fuck can you not know Tom Petty, you stupid fuck? Ha ha ha, my back. Ha ha, my back. So then I'm in an anxiety attack. I'm like, Jesus Christ, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Then I'm like, okay, what are your tools at your disposal? First of all, Eric, do not go to WebMD. So 1 minute later, I'm at WebMD. I'm hitting the rumble strips. Oh, hello. All right, this can wait. No. Hey, Siri. Mm-hmm. Hey, Siri. Mm-hmm. What are the symptoms of ALS?
The earliest symptoms of ALS are muscle weakness or muscle atrophy, typically on one side of the body. Other presenting symptoms include trouble swallowing or breathing, cramping, or stiffness of affected muscles, muscle weakness affecting an arm or a leg, or slurred and nasal speech. This answer is from Wikipedia.
Hey, Siri.
Uh-huh.
Fuck you.
I won't respond to that.
You fat bitch. So I'm like, well, my speech is not slurred. It's impeccable. One of the other symptoms is early onset is that you start laughing or crying uncontrollably. Like that fucking movie Joker. When he's laughing his ass off all the goddamn time. Then he's like shooting people. Yeah, like right now, it's so numb. Now, that was a mistake because then I can't even drive at that point. It's debilitating anxiety. Like, oh my God, I fucking ALS. Oh shit, I got years to live. I'm dead. I'm gonna be a fucking vegetable. And then I go, all right, let me check out the symptoms to pinched nerve in the neck. And where there was some similarity with ALS. The exact symptoms of a pinched nerve in the neck lined up with what I'm experiencing. So it's either a pinched nerve in my neck or I'm going to die. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. If I have ALS, I am going to I'm going to be the best person ever with ALS because I'm going to podcast up to my last breath. It's going to be so fucking awkward as I'm sitting there going, I just drool coming out of my mouth. Fuck. So what did I do? Yet again, I called the doctor and I booked an appointment. So Thursday, Linda says is a symptom of ALS hideous hair. Chris says chiropractor. Tyler says, are you to the point where you want to see a witch doctor, a.k.a. chiropractor? No, I'm just going to go to a physician. I'm not going to go to a chiropractor who has the same education as like a guy, as like Joe Martinez. The amount of education that Joe Martinez has in making my HVAC systems work appropriately, that's similar to the level of schooling you need to be a chiropractor. Okay? No, I'm not going to a goddamn chiropractor. ALS begins with muscle twitching, not numbness. Well, I don't know, man. Linda says it's likely, because you have a pinched nerve. One of the things it said that you need to do to alleviate it. Well, first of all, let me tell you this. I experience that tingling and shit the most when I'm seated right here and my hand on this mouse. Like this position. With, like you would be controlling a computer mouse. I'm here a lot during the day. And then I looked up how to get rid of this. And one of the things is rest. Stopping the suspected reason for it in the first place. So I'm thinking that might have something to do with it. Sarah says you might need to try a vertical mouse. Could be some type of tendonitis. And then follows up with repeated motion of index fingers overuse. Kenney's still going on about stupid Tom Petty because he's dumbass. David in Hudsonville says a doctor cannot fix this. Go to a chiropractor. Now, I'll tell you this. If the doc says, I was talking with Matt Kuipers about this at the paintball event. He says, yeah, he goes, yeah, they'll probably just prescribe like rehab. And I go, well, I can rehab it. Well, then just tell him you won't go or something like that. I was like, I don't know. I'm fucked up. Patrick says, dude, I had the same problem. It eventually corrected itself. It was very uncomfortable. I think I pinched a nerve when I was removing popcorn ceiling. David says, doctor don't know shit. Doctor don't know shit. They prescribe meds. Are you suggesting, David in Hudsonville, that a chiropractor knows more about this type of what's going on here than a physician? Really? Yeah, I don't believe that. Now, I might be able to be convinced of that over time. But as of right now, sitting here in front of you, I do not believe that that's possible. Doctor doesn't know shit. Are you one of those guys? Oh, yeah, fuck the doc. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. That's what he's saying. Kenney wrote, hey, man, medical doctor will never tell you to go to a chiropractor. They will only give you pills and tell you to get to PT. They're the real whack jobs. Well, I didn't know that you were the retarded conspiracy theory person, Kenney. You didn't strike me as that. You just struck me as generally simple, but not exactly a whack job. You're the whack job. I remember one time when we were in Jersey, there was some chiropractor who wanted to get on the air, and we had to go meet this fucking idiot. And he's telling us about his stupid neck-cracking business, and he says, oh, yeah, we also do smoking cessation. Yeah? Yep, I can get you to quit smoking. Oh, how does that work? Well, I take this probe and I stick it in your ear. And then it shoots lasers into your brain, and then you won't smoke anymore. We're like, oh, okay, thanks. Let's leave. Yeah, that guy. Molly says, look up chiropractors working on babies and old people. That'll change your mind. Oh, I love that. Don't get me wrong. There is definitely when the old back cracker works, some relief there. But I am not convinced that that is going to help me for this particular issue. Linda adds 5-minute warning for your meeting, Eric. Thank you, my dear. I appreciate that. I did have it today, though. So we will have an Act 2 coming up in just a bit. All right. Let's see. Do I need to do anything beforehand? Nah. I'll just end it right here, and I will talk to you momentarily. Right around 11:30, maybe a few minutes after. Hang tight and make sure you come back when I get done with the staff meeting for Act 2 of this Tuesday edition of the Eric Zane Show podcast. All right. Welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast, Act 2. Act 2. The first act finished up and was off to the historic radio station staff meeting. Seems good. Nothing major, no major meltdowns to report. All is well in Radioland. Updating my top story that we started out Act 1 with. I don't know if the two things are related. But as I look at today's Free Beer and Hot Wings show, at 2 hours and 42 minutes, there's a segment called Free Beer's Mental Health Crisis. So, this is what I talked about earlier in the show. I got a text from Chris. He sent to me at 7:38 in the morning. Free Beer and Hot Wings today at 7:35, so 3 minutes prior. Free Beer gets a little nasty with Tommy, lecturing him, similar to the time when he said to the intern, when these light up, you pick this up. It was a very funny moment when he wasn't picking up the phones. So Greg took his headphones off, walked 2 doors down into the studio and yelled at Wiener 1. And we could hear it on the air. It was fucking great. So my first thought when I heard that was, oh, God. I hope he wasn't like, Greg is the most passive-aggressive dick on the planet. Okay? And so, he's got a 21-year-old dude there who young people get their souls crushed quite easily. And so if Greg embarrassed him on the air, that's not great. And the guy, this Tommy cat, seems very nice. He seems like there is nothing but joy in this guy's heart. I haven't heard it. I don't know. Right after that was sent to me, though, Chris writes that he wrote, oops, I accidentally sent my tip to you to Free Beer. I'm like, what are you doing? So Greg would have gotten a text from Chris what he wrote to me. And so Greg would see FBHW today at 7:35. Free Beer gets testy with Tommy. So contextually, I don't know if he's able to figure out who that was supposed to go to. Me. I've made it very clear that I want the audience of my show to listen to them and tip me off when interesting shit happens so we can talk about it on Who Are These Free Beers. So that meant that Greg got that, and who knows where that took his mind. I don't know. But then Chris wrote, oops, I actually texted that to Free Beer, and then I sent it to you. And then shortly thereafter, Free Beer kind of had a little breakdown. Chris wrote, I think I caused it because he specifically mentioned being mean to Tommy. So maybe he had a little remorse or felt bad that he embarrassed Tommy. And then these all things kind of compound, and then in his brain, it just comes out. He wrote, I texted that to them on accident. I meant to send it to you. I wrote, haha, you mean that first text was texted into the show? Well, haha, you probably fucked him up. I can't wait to check it out. Chris says, yes, I sent it to them and got the auto response and thought, oh, shit, I think I spun him out. So I think we should listen to, I don't have when he got upset at Tommy handy, but in a pinch, I was able to quickly get, they listed it today as Free Beer's mental health crisis. Oh, shit. All right, I'm anxious to hear what's going on here. Let's spill some tea, goddammit. Should point out that we have talked on Who Are These Free Beers that he's triggered when people text in things that he doesn't like.
Hour number 3, the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show, 1-800-947-3979. Call or text Free Beer and Hot Wings Sour. Your dog's donation coming. We have some other cool things related to that. We need to. That's always something that's fun to hear, right? Before considered to be, it goes blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. But we never set out to be the show that mental health was our thing. We just all were so used to sharing what we considered to be the pimples and bacne of our lives, so to speak, with everyone else.
Yeah.
That saying that we went to therapy or took some meds didn't really seem like a big deal. And then after we did it, we started having people write in and go, I really appreciate you talking about that so openly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel like I'm in a little bit of a crisis right now.
Okay.
Here's what's going on. I'm probably in one of the best places I've ever been in my whole life. Mm-hmm. Work's going well.
Yeah.
By the way, I think he just indicated the other day that he stopped taking Zoloft, or he's trying to get off that.
Our career is going
I don't know
well.
if that's a great idea. More meds. That's what I do.
Arguably better than ever.
Yeah.
Ratings are better than ever.
Except for no one's buying advertising anymore, but that's not just us. That's the whole industry. Welcome to 2024. My personal...
They're buying the podcast. I got no complaints. I got more money than Davy Crockett.
Life is great. I've lost 20 pounds, and then I gained some back, but I'm going to lose it again. 25 pounds, actually. I feel better than ever physically, or better than I have since 2010. And because of that weight loss, at my doctor's appointment, I got off one of the blood pressure meds, and he said you could probably try to roll off Zoloft as well, or sertraline, which is the pharmaceutical name.
Okay. And
I was excited. You've heard me talk about that I went from 4 meds daily to 2. Got rid of 1 antidepressant and 1 blood pressure. And the blood pressure one's fine. Measured it, continue to check it myself. Might be able to get off the other one as long as I don't start eating like a butthole again. But man, I feel like this isn't the right term. It's too big of a term, but I don't know what else. In crisis. I had a meltdown because I forgot to send the new show sheet to Steve last hour.
You're very hard on yourself about it.
Mm-hmm. I cannot let things go right now.
All right, whatever you do, don't send them. Who Are These Free Beers?
Anything.
Yeah.
If my wife's quiet, it's because she's tired of me.
Yeah.
And it's all me.
But that's part of going off of an antidepressant. That's part of it.
Yeah, they say the going off of it puts you in a lower spot than you were when you got on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go ahead and I need to pre-listen to this. And then, you know, how I like to pick it out, because I don't want to roll it all like that. I will say this. I mean, because ultimately I will listen to that and find what I can insult or make fun of. That right there, I can't. So I don't want to be the guy who, when he's, you know, when I'm trying to make something funny that really isn't. So I need to go over it and review it. I will say this. When I got off medication, I'll never forget, because I did it accidentally. Because I needed to quit taking, I needed to prove to the transplant team that I don't need antidepressants. And I lied that I was only taking them once in a while. They said, why don't you get off them entirely? So I did, and was able to transplant the kidney. And that was all a lie. I did need them. But then I never went back to taking them. And I'll never forget just taking a fucking walk the other day, a year and a half ago. And I suddenly was like crippling anxiety. Got back on it, and all good. In fact, a little later on after that, I ended up doubling the dosage. I started, my eggs were scrambled, and the doctor said, well, take more. All right, man, fuck yes. So I'm eating them like goddamn M&M, and everything's great. Over this past weekend, I take 2 pills. I don't know the dosage. It doesn't matter. I didn't have enough. I only had 2 pills for 2 days. So I took one day and one the next day. And even that, immediately I'm thrown back. And I'm like, fucking shit. Oh, my God. I'm falling apart. It's the end of the line. I might as well just push myself off this cliff. I'm fucking dying. So, you know, I can't stand Greg. But I can't sit here and listen to that type of struggle and with going blind. If I'm going to beat up Greg, it's going to be while I actually have something to beat him up about. So I don't give a shit about being fair to him. I need to be fair to me, and I don't want to listen to that. And it's just actually a man pleading out that he's fucked up for life. I mean, we only need to look at his hair to know that. All right. I think that's the biggest thing he should be in crisis about. Maureen says his hair is in crisis for sure. If he's looking in the mirror and says, oh, no, this is the way to go, that tells me he's fucked up. So I need to go back and listen to it. I don't want to just sit here and listen to him struggle and then say, fuck him. Bob says him getting fussy with Tommy was sometime between 7:15 and 7:30. Chris wrote, I actually felt kind of bad when he broke that down. Bob says it happens at about, or Chris says it happens at about 7:35. So I don't know. Ultimately, when we do Who Are These Free Beers, it's to goof on the show, what's happening within the show. And I don't know. I think that it doesn't really set right with me, even me, who I want to break Greg's nose. All right. To even sit here and play him being all fucked up. I didn't realize how listening to it right there is the first I'd heard of it. So I'm going to go back and listen to it off of the podcast. And go from there. Chris says the first part with Tommy is gold. Had nothing to do with his mental health. So that might be something we can make fun of. And when did that happen? Freebear broke it down at I don't have a timestamp to be able to access that quickly, and I don't want to be searching for it. That would be weird. So it sounds like the Burn King's eggs are a little scrambled there. I'll check it out and I'll talk more about it later on. I'll tell you this. Doing that, like that, having that type of conversation about whatever it may be, is a million times more effective than anything else that they have done on that show. What he's doing there won't be funny, but it'll be compelling. And it will be interesting. And it's definitely not boring. Okay? People love that stuff. So that's good that he's doing that. And it's probably going to make him feel better that he talked about it on the show. Do I give a shit if Greg feels better? Of course not. Of course not. Sworn enemy. Life. Sworn enemy. No going back. Fuck that. Bob says, was there a second time he got fussy? What I heard was about the Jimbo and the harmonizer. Who knows? Maybe Chris knows. All right. Well, if he's attacking Tommy, that's saying something. That tells me that Greg's brain is not right. Because if he humiliated him like he has a tendency to do, like was seriously butthurt at a dude who is green as grass on the show and talks down to him and humiliates him like that, okay, that to me is a huge problem. And perhaps people won't, I wouldn't put it past Greg to look like an asshole and then have the moment like we just were listening to part of to water down the asshole moment or make it seem like that is an excuse for the terrible choice he made in undressing Tommy. So I cannot wait to hear that. Ben says, was it when they were giving advice? I think so, Ben Glaze. Yeah. Because Freebear had his mental health crisis at 2 hours in. The two previous segments was when they read Reddit and give advice. So it happened there. Ben Glaze, I have been horrible in getting you audio. I will do that as soon as I get done today. Who Are These Zanes? I have some Who Are These Zanes audio for you to send your way for the Thursday, Big Fraud Thursday. Thank you for being here, by the way. All right. So that's where I am on that. Yesterday, speaking of where someone's brain is, I'm having a bit of a conundrum with Doug over at Bosco's. I'm in a bit of a I better just keep my head down and not say anything type of vibe. Because I'm afraid I'm going to get like my ass kicked. Let me just tell you, I absolutely love working there. I love the people that work there. I've loved everybody that's worked there. It's been great. I enjoy myself there. It gets me out of the house, people to talk to, gets me away from just talking to a camera and into a microphone every day. I always love the extra money that pays for a little bit of fuel. Shit like that. And I've noticed that he's really kind of like, I feel like I'm on a really, like he's got a short fuse with me for some reason. And that was on display again yesterday. And I was like, oh, what the fuck am I doing here? So we're getting ready to start the dinner service. And I noticed that he's like frantic, moving around like fast. And typically, you don't want to ask him any questions when he's in that zone. You ever run into somebody in your life who's like that? You can just tell, and it's a bad idea to ask a question. Any question. Doesn't matter what it is. I found that out. One of the sauces that you put on the burgers is this Chipotle Ranch. It's real simple. You just get this big fucking metal bowl. You pour a big-ass thing of ranch dressing. You put in a couple other ingredients to make this chipotle ranch. You add a chipotle paste. You add barbecue sauce, all measured amounts. It's simple. And you take this big whisk and you stir that shit all up. And then you pour it into containers so that it can be, it's prep work. It's prepping, and we're out of it. We need to make it. Want me to make some Chipotle ranch? Right away, I realized I might as well have asked him if he wants a dick in his ass. Because he looked at me like, I'm like, oh, God, this is the big one. Now, again, this is okay, he's 57 years old, and he looks like a linebacker for the Detroit Lions. He could snap me in half. He's been shot. He's been stabbed. He was a bouncer for years. He was a bodyguard for years. He's been in so many goddamn bar fights. It's unbelievable, which I got to tell you, but he was just in one the other day. I got to tell you about that. He looks at me, and I'm like, uh-oh, this might be the big one. This might be the big one. I asked if he wants me to make some Chipotle ranch. He goes, I am not answering any questions. I go, no problem, big fella. And I'm gone. I'm like, oh, fuck, man. So I'm like, trying not to look awkward and uncomfortable. I'm like wiping shit down, drying it, re-wiping it, hoping customers come in so I can make some food or something. Nick writes, he's just trying to harden your ass up. So, oh no, I'm like, fuck. And a little bit of time passes. And he finally says, yeah, I think we're going to need some Chipotle ranch. I'm like, oh, okay, yep, we'll have to do that. He goes, we can wait for now, though. We got other things to work on. I go, no problem. I have a tendency to, when we get a food ticket, to not read everything on it. So this one says burger fries, and I start making it, and a side salad. And I put it into a stainless steel bowl, and I'm getting ready to put it in the window and he goes, and it turns out I haven't read all the ticket where it says takeout. So I have to put it in a takeout container. And oh no, you got to start reading those tickets. I'm like, uh-oh, that's two big snaps at your old pal EZ. I go, you're right, big fella. You're right. Put it in a to-go container. We're making some burgers. Kenny says, read all of the ticket, also AKA where it says no bun. You're right. That's where it comes from. Because I didn't read the no bun. Which, by the way, some asshole ordered a no bun yesterday. I was like, come on, you dicks. So then, short time later, we got like 6 burgers that are getting ready. And you got the crown of the bun and the heel. And while I'm transporting them, one of the heels winds up on the floor. Now, size of the problem, no big deal. Because they were on the grill browning. You just got to grab another heel, put it on the butter roller so it gets a little bit of that liquid butter on it, drop it face down for a minute. And so the heel of the bun winds up on the ground. Now, this is going to affect nothing at all. He goes, God damn it! And I'm just like, oh no. Now, this says, I've been there almost 2 years. And this says, I've never had a problem. And I think that, not yesterday, but the time before, when he lost his shit, I talked about it here. I think that kind of primed the pump. And because I didn't say anything, like, hey, Jesus. I don't know. Maybe he that was maybe like a test. Maybe I was getting groomed or something. And so now he's like, that's how I can talk to EZ. I don't know. Well, anyway, Pooh Bear says, you got to quit that fucking shit. He should not be talking to you that way. You got to quit. I mean, like I said, very defensive Pooh Bear, very feisty Irish redhead. So I'm like, yeah, I know, but he doesn't mean anything by it. I'm making an excuse. I'm like the battered wife in this. I'm like, it doesn't, first of all, it doesn't bother me. Well, it's starting to bother me because I wrote to Pooh Bear. I go, I think it's starting to get on my nerves a little bit. I think this is starting to fester. But so I think that we may have opened up Pandora's box, both from his perspective and mine. Not that I would just blow up and leave, unless if he pushed me or something like that. I hope he doesn't do that. But Tyler says, fuck that, man. They need you more than you need them. I wouldn't put up with that attitude. This is true. This means nothing to me. I like it. But I don't like it as much today as I did a week ago. Rebecca says, I could not work there. So I don't know. Maybe he'll hear this and be like, oh, God. I'm just being honest. That's what happened. Patrick says, I'm sorry, dude. That sucks that it's like that now. I think I'm having a mental breakdown, and I need to discuss with you all of my problems right now because Doug from Bosco's yelled at me. Asshole Kenney says, I paid that guy to order the bunless burger. Good friend of mine. Ryan says, there's another easy firing on the horizon. Stevie says the honeymoon phase is over. Chris says they should rename the no bun burger to the EZ special. Let's see. Nick writes, I'm not sure. You think he fucked it up. It says sack up that part of the business. Translation, please. Angry chefs screaming under pressure of 50 custom Karen orders. Oh. Kenney says he lied. Yeah, no kidding, you lied, idiot. You don't need to tell us that you were just lying. We know that. Fucking dummy. All right. Which, by the way, some poor son of a bitch showed up at Bosco's on Friday, and he walked in stinking drunk, and they could smell that he was shit-faced. And Dee Dee, which is Doug's wife, is sitting at the end of the bar reading some emails. I don't know if did I mention this to you guys? I don't think I mentioned it. Tell me if I did. Well, he sits down. He's like, give me a drink. Give me a drink. And so I don't think they served him. All right. And then while he's got a glass of water or whatever the fuck, he starts talking to Doug's wife. And he's being loud, and he puts his arm around her. And it's like, oh, no. So the sheriff comes out and flashes the badge and says, get the fuck out of here. Well, this guy doesn't want to leave. All right. So then Dougie takes off his apron. Now, these two together are very but Doug alone is like three men. Dougie is a state champion wrestler, mixed martial arts, all that shit. Strong as a goddamn ox. And devastatingly strong. And if you piss him off, good luck. Finally, Just when Dougie's about to get in, Dougie says, get the fuck out of here. And then finally, Doug grabs the guy by belt and shirt as soon as the guy takes his hands out of his fucking pockets. Remember that scene in Casino where Robert De Niro says, get this guy fucking out of here, the hilljack who had his feet up on the poker table, open the fucking door with his head. That's what you had. So Doug grabs the son of a bitch and throws him, and the guy actually leaves his feet and hits the door. They walk out the building door, and there's a little ringer that goes roof, roof, roof. When that hits, and sure enough, you start hearing the dog go roof, roof, roof as the door flies open, and then the guy immediately realizes he's fucking dead. And then the guy's out now in the vestibule. He goes, I gotta go take a piss. He goes, you're not taking a piss. You're not going to my bathroom. Get the fuck out of here. And so then they just throw him out again, out the second set of doors. And I'm like, son of a bitch, why did I miss that? Now Doug wants to kick my ass, too. Boy, all I did was drop the heel of a bun, and he wanted to kick my ass. How come that guy got so much grace? Donut Dan says, could it be that Doug is having some trouble in his life and is taking it out on you? Maybe talk with him alone about it. Nick says that should also be the result of ordering bunless. Yeah, I don't know about Donut Dan's comment. I feel like that's not my place. All I want to do is go there, make some French fries, have a glass of Sprite, and maybe some French fries, put some burgers together, and leave when the dinner rush is over. That's all I'm interested in. I didn't sign up to be the counseling board. So I'll just keep my head down and ride it out as long as I can. I'm not in the business of trying to convince 57-year-old people how to behave. I got enough fucking problems keeping my own shit together. Ryan says, I've watched a lot of Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares. It always starts with an angry owner chef. Nick says, I think it's just people don't handle pressure well. You are either like the dude or you're like Walter. Great reference. And I am very much the dude. Nothing is important enough that would result in me getting angry or losing my shit. Okay? And Doug may be Walter. Now, can you imagine if somebody has done something for so long a certain way and somebody like me has to talk to them about it? Fuck that shit. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'll just do this for as long as I can until I get fed up. And then if it gets too bad, there's nothing I can do about that. I'm not in the business of changing people. I'm not going to. I've thought about it. I thought maybe I should say something, but fuck that shit. You know? Shut the fuck up, Donnie. You're way out of your element. That was so great. I love that movie so much. Holy shit. Fantastic. All right. Where are we here? Racing at Berlin goes on this weekend. Tickets just $14 when you buy them online. BerlinRaceway.com. They're $18 if you get them at the gate. So buy them online. Save yourself the money. So, okay, family of 4. You got mom, you got dad, 3 kids under 15. Dad's ticket, 14. Mom's ticket, 14. Kid, free. Kid 2, free. Kid 3, free. So now you're in for $28 and everybody's in the gate. Kids want snacks. You've brought them all in your 12 by 18 cooler. Kids want soft drinks. You've brought them all in your 12 by 18 cooler. Maybe you brought 2 12 by 18 coolers. One for mom, one for dad. You've got fucking sub sandwiches in there. Piece of cold pizza. Fried chicken. You bring all the shit you want. So now you have $0 for food, $0 for soft drinks. You're still at $28. Dad drives there. Dad buys fucking 10 beers and drinks them all. I don't know the cost of a beer there. I think they're $4. Mom has 2 because she's now driving because Dad's hammered. All right? So that means you're in for $48 in beer, $28 in tickets. Parking is free. $76 for all of that. And then you go home and get laid. God damn, that's a successful night. BerlinRaceway.com for tickets. Hurricane Ashley is going to be there supposedly coming up on Saturday. If you see her, try not to give her any drinks. A&E, Heating and Cooling. Joe Martinez, 616-516-8579. I want you to book your AC tune-up today. I either want you to book an AC tune-up or just call Joe to say hi. 616-516-8579. That's 616-516-8579 for A&E Heating and Cooling. Joe's awesome. And if you just flip on the air this year and haven't gotten that thing tuned up in a few years, you're just asking for trouble. Don't burn that damn thing out, because if you're using it without it being tuned up, it's going to work harder for longer and shorten the life of your AC. You're also going to use more energy to cool your home because it's running inefficiently. $79. It's all costs. Scheduled today, 616-516-8579. We got Impact Power Sports. They sponsor the studio, and I want you to reach out to them or visit them when you're thinking about purchasing something like an ATV, UTV, side-by-side. Top-of-the-line models are available for you to check out, test drive, have fun with at Impact Power Sports. Online at impactpowersportsmi.com. Along 14 Mile Road in Rockford, Michigan. Get yourself into something fun. Maybe a motorcycle, maybe an e-bike, maybe a zero-turn mower. That's not exactly the funnest thing, but I mean, if I was mowing lawn and using a zero-turn, that would be awesome. Yamaha Golf Carts. They are Michigan's newest Yamaha golf cart dealer. You can get this all at Impact Power Sports. Online at impactpowersportsmi.com. So you remember that $1.2 billion lottery Powerball? Well, we had a winner. The guy was, I guess, out of Oregon or something like that. And, wow, this couldn't have worked out better. $1.2 billion for him. And the dude's been fighting cancer for 8 years. Oh, my God. Let's check this story out. Here we go.
That is a reality for 3 Oregonians now coming forward after winning that record-breaking Powerball jackpot.
Oops. Oh, that's going to make me unhappy. Come on now.
Ariel Salk is in Salem with what the trio plans to do with all that cash.
Charlie was born in Laos and currently lives in Portland with his wife. He says they plan on spending the money on their dream home and to find a doctor in his battle against cancer.
I found out I won, and then I've been thinking, oh, I'm happy for my family. They will have a good life.
Holding a giant check, Charlie Fawn waves while grinning ear to ear after winning the $1.3 billion Powerball.
We won the lottery. We won the jackpot.
Charlie isn't the only winner. He's splitting the prize with his wife, Du Pen, and their friend, Liza Chow, who lives in Milwaukee, neither wanting to be on camera. He recalls calling Chow with the big news.
Where you going? What are you doing now? She said, I'm driving on the way to work. And I told her, you don't have to go work now.
Charlie's a ray of light, even as he speaks about his 8-year battle with cancer.
I'm in the middle of the battling cancer. So I've been thinking, how am I going to have time to spend all of this money?
He was born in Laos, moving to Thailand when he was 10, before finally settling down in Portland 30 years ago.
I love Oregon. I've been here 30 years, so I love Oregon. I'm not going to move out. I stay in Oregon here.
Proudly wearing a sash representing his people, the Lu men, he giggles, sharing how he told his family members.
I told my mom, we're rich. Rich? How rich? Really rich.
The two families are splitting the winnings in half, which after taxes is a little over $400 million, which has already been delivered and is burning a hole in their pockets.
Holy
Reporting
fuck.
in Salem, Ariel Salk, Coin 6 News.
I love him. That made me all
What a great
teary-eyed.
story.
Oh, me too.
Yes, if anyone,
Deserves it.
deserves it, and
You got to buy some new teeth. I think he only had half a mouth there. Did you see that?
can use that money. Yeah, and I love how rich.
Yeah, pretty rich.
Very, very rich. Yes, yeah. Lucky day for him and them.
Oh, that's some awkward happy talk. I was in the printed version of this story. Nick writes, guy looks like a retarded Paul Mooney. I don't know what that is, but it sounds terrible. Terribly funny. I wish I knew who that was. It was a comment he made. I am grateful for the lottery and how I have been blessed, said Safan. I am able to provide for my family and my health. My life has changed. Now I can bless my family and hire a good doctor for myself. Now, I mean, he's been fighting cancer for 8 years, and a bummer for his doctor that's currently been helping him, who's probably like, well, what the fuck am I? Thanks, Safan. I mean, that makes me feel like shit. All right. The one thing I know about Laos is that when we were like fighting in Southeast Asia in the Vietnam War, wasn't that like one of the places that our military was? Laos, Vietnam, and what's the other one? Cambodia, right? That's about it. Didn't Rambo go to Laos? Wasn't one of the Rambo movies there? I don't know. Good for him. Chris says, this guy's awesome. Kenny says, awkward happy talk. Great name for Justin's new podcast, maybe, if he makes a new one. LOL. That fucker just went to Rome. Linda follows him on Instagram so she can keep me up to date. And yeah, he was in Rome probably annoying everybody there. Chris said something I was thinking. There's a certain group of people that's immediately triggered because this guy was born in Laos. Yeah. He's not even an American. He took our money. Fuck that guy. Nick adds, I'll be seeing if coke and hookers can cure cancer. Chris in Buffalo says, come to Oregon. All right. Okay. Well, yeah. And then if you're the family, to get that money out of the blue like that, I just cannot imagine. I mean, seriously, let's just say that's me, and I've got now after taxes, and the only reason why I would take a lump sum is because the Gins told me I should take a lump sum, because I've talked on the show about how you should take the annuity, and the Gin says, no, don't do that. You're better off taking the lump sum. And I said, why? And he said something that I don't know. All right, I trust you then. Yeah, I know everybody talks about what they would do, what they would buy, but I think that I have to go deeper on that. If I'm the one that stands to pocket after taxes and after all fees and whatever, $440 million, the first thing I do is think for a long, long time. If you've got a year to claim it, make sure that I would put that ticket into a safe spot. And I think that for just a short period of time, if I'm the only one aware that I've won, I just spend a couple of days so goddamn happy and not telling even Diana. I would tell her in a couple days, but to just experience life from the perspective of I can look into a crystal ball and I know that anything financially that is troubling me at this point in time, whether it be, buying some fucking dog food or I need a new set of tires, experiencing those 2 days, knowing that I've got this great $450 million secret that I can't wait to slowly introduce the world to. Talk to Pooh Bear about it. Get her involved. All right, this is what's up. And then we just sit and smile for a period of time. And just figure out how we're going to do this. Deal in the professionals. The Gins. Anybody who's good with money. Maybe investment shit like that. Maybe even have like somebody a full-time person to just sit in the fucking bank and watch my money. That's your job. Then I'm always concerned about the more people that know, people that would try to embezzle and steal. That makes me very, very nervous. It starts to freak me out even wondering about that. Kenny says minus Pooh Bear points for not telling her right away, though. I disagree. And like I said, just a couple of days. All right? Just a couple of days. Nick says, I'll be right to Zillow looking for 50,000 acres. Yeah, because if you find a place to live, that's right. You first of all, you shouldn't live in like a subdivision surrounded by people. You should be in a place that's like you just described, where you have to turn onto a 2-track in the middle of nowhere, and you got to wind through, and there's a series of gates that you got to get through. And then the perimeter is actually like a prison. And then you finally get to your Wayne Manor, and then you can set up shop. Kenny's on fucking fire today. He writes, a place where nobody can park in front of your mailbox. Exactly, Kenny. Yeah, seriously. I kind of go back and forth. Would it change me? Would it not change me? I think it would change me. Chris says, start your own private mercenary army to guard your house. Like, just hire some black ops people to just go around waiting for somebody to try to break in. And then if anybody does, they're slaughtered and they're buried on the grounds. Perhaps even run them through like a goddamn wood chipper into like a pen where there's like birds and wildlife and crows and shit to eat all the dude pieces. Question, would you still do podcasting? I think I would check in from time to time. And then if it ever got to a point where I was like, I don't want to fucking do this. I want to go, whatever, to travel, do whatever I want. I'd probably just fade away into the abyss. I don't know. I don't want to lose time when I don't have to, especially since I already announced to you earlier today that I suspect that I have ALS. Some of you are hearing that for the first time and you're like, what? I don't really believe that. But for a good portion of the day yesterday, I was sitting around going, oh no, I've got ALS. Looked it up on Wikipedia. My hand's tingling and buzzing and it's going numb. I'm like, oh, that's it. It's over. I got fucking ALS. I'll be like Stephen Hawking. I'm going to the doctor on Thursday. Kenny says that my quote would be, fuck those podcast losers. They can follow me on Instagram and watch me travel to more places than Justin. Bob says there's a plot of land in South Carolina that my friends and I would get if we won the massive Powerball. The acreage came out to 7 square miles. That's like in Asheville, North Carolina, the Biltmore estate. The Vanderbilt family, if you ever get a chance, if you're into history, you must go to the Biltmore Mansion. I've been there numerous times. That fucking family was so wealthy, the Vanderbilt family, and I forget how they made their money, if it was the railroads or oil. I'm not sure. But shipping, maybe it was, I don't know, freight, who knows. But it was railroads, Aram says. There was this fucking asshole Vanderbilt kid who didn't do shit. He just inherited a bunch of money that his uncle or his dad or his grandpa made. And all that fucking asshole did for a living was build this mansion and have parties. He didn't do cock. It's still part of the family. I think it was I think it was sold to another family, but when you go through it, you get to see the amazing shit that's in that house. I've talked about this before, but this asshole Vanderbilt fucking idiot, he wanted a chess set so he could play chess in this little parlor that he has. It's not a little parlor. It's a big parlor. And he said, I need a chess set, but I want it to be an extravagant chess set. And so what he does is he had a staff of people who were would get him shit from faraway places. So he'd get a telegram. Hey, I got a stuffed lion from the Serengeti. Send some money and I'll crate it up and send it back. Okay. In comes the stuffed lion. And he's got all these curators that are just out in the world getting shit for this mansion. And he gets a telegram and says, I got a big one for you. You're going to love this. What is it? It's your chess set. Okay. Tell me about it. It belonged to this guy. He went by the name of Napoleon. He says, fuck yeah, give me the chess set. So he bought Napoleon's chess set, and you're walking along in the house, and there it is. It's the chess set that Napoleon is like, rook. And then he's like, all right, yeah, go murder some people. Let's go conquer some shit. Fucking knight, which isn't the knight like 2 forward, 3 to the side, or 3 forward, I don't know. I fucking forget. Bishop is diagonal. What is it? His rook is vertical, horizontal. Bishop diagonal. Knight L. Queen, whatever the fuck she wants. King's the shithead. He can only do 1 space. Then the pussy pawns. I suck so bad at chess. God damn it. I don't think I have ever been victorious at chess. My brother taught me how to play just so he could beat the shit out of me. And this is when I still reacted to shit the way Doug does at Bosco's. So, within 3 moves, I'm in check. I'm like, God damn it, fucking shit. Fucking flip the fucking board at my brother. When you're in that house, in that parlor house, that mansion, you're next to Napoleon's chess set, and all of a sudden you see like a bookcase open up, and out walks one of the tour guides or people who knows their way around. There's all sorts of hidden like it's like the game Clue. You go in, you open a bookcase and you like pull a thing and the hatch opens up. You go into it and you're in this catacomb that goes down steps underneath the house. You wake up and you're in a bowling alley. If you've ever seen the film There Will Be Blood, I drink your milkshake. That scene where what do you call it? What's the guy's name? Thomas Hayden Church. Daniel Day-Lewis beats the shit out of Eli with the goddamn bowling pin. They have a bowling alley in the Biltmore similar to that. You must go there. I never forget, I was walking around. It was during COVID. And I'm standing next to Diana, and we're looking at these paintings on the wall. And I pull my mask down to tell her, because I'm being quiet about this piece of art. I'm going to make a comment about it or something like that. And there's this fucking blood Nazi, old-ass hillbilly bitch who works for the fucking Biltmore, who's watching everybody like a hawk to see if they remove their mask in any way. So I like pull it down just below my lower lip. I go, oh my God, can you believe he painted this or whatever the fuck my comment was? I don't know. And this sick hillbilly bitch sees me. Hey, I saw that. And I'm I'm looking at her like, what the fuck? And I got this look on my face, like, and I'm not sure what the hell she was laughing at or what she's yelling about. And she goes, I can escort you right out of here if you pull that mask off of your face again. You will not pull that mask off your face. Rules are rules, sir. Oh my God. Holy shit. I couldn't believe it. I think at the time, though, I was really into wearing a mask. If you remember, on this show, I was busy telling all of you to fuck off if you didn't have a mask on. So I think I went, yes, ma'am, I'm so sorry. You're right. And then I put the mask back on, and I didn't want to break the rules anymore because I am a sheep, and I followed all those rules. Unlike some of you assholes who were busy being dickheads about all that shit and probably planning to kidnap the fucking governor. Chris says you wanted to wear them forever. It's true. I kind of, in my heart, deep down, want it to happen again so that we can wear masks more. It was great. I loved every bit of that. Nate says, didn't you wear a mask while podcasting? I don't think I did, Nate. I mean, let's not be stupid about this. Nate's one of those butt-fuck patriots, along with Nick and Kuipers. There's only a few of you left. I've worked very hard trying to get rid of you fucks. And no, I didn't wear a goddamn mask when I was podcasting. I think there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe half a dozen of you that have survived the Great Zaniac Exodus. That was also part of the reason why the Great Zaniac Exodus happened. Those people were getting frustrated with me because of my not so conservative stances on politics. Which, truth be told, those stances of theirs weren't conservative. They were right-wing extremism. All right? Because I am somewhat conservative in my belief system. But I'm not a crazy buttfuck like those assholes. And they didn't like that. They didn't like that I like gay people. They didn't like that I love black people. They didn't like, what else? That I was woke. They didn't like that I supported I support Black Lives Matter. Kenny says, did you mean to still be live on Facebook right now? No, I always forget. What are you doing? Are you like on Twitch? And then you go, hey, let's go check up on Eric on Facebook. Thank you, though. I'm just going to let it ride. It's Act 2, and Act 1 never made it to Facebook because I zigged when I was supposed to zag. Nick says, I'm actually a classic liberal, freedom of everything. That is a lie. Quit lying to me. What is wrong with you? You're a liberal. You are not a liberal. You dummy. God. People call me a liberal all the time. It's like, I'm not a liberal. I'm not anything. I'm Eric Zane / Zaytunian, depending on when you're talking to me. Don't label me something, you asshole. All right. We have the asshole of the day coming up. If you have any suggestions, I would love to hear them. I don't even know what the fuck we've talked about. He says, I'm a liberal from the 90s before they all turned into giant pussies. You're not a liberal. That's bullshit. A liberal. Are you talking about like you're okay with tax and spend? You're okay with like programs for things? Because I've seen you bitch about various things that the government spends money on. Nominations. Asshole of the day, Tom Petty for making a country song. That is not a country song, stupid. It's a Tom Petty song. Bob nominates Free Beer. I can't put Free Beer on there. He's done nothing that is warranting asshole of the day. He's not even in a category right now where he gets one just on past merits. Ooh, Donut Dan throws out Doug. I don't know. Any other suggestions, please leave them. Let's see. What else have I talked about on the show? Hurricane Ashley continues to claim I got her fired. Audience member Chris is reporting that the Burn King Greg Freebeer had a meltdown on the air today. Darla needs a hug. Kenny's musical ignorance is again on display. EZ convinces himself he has a horrible disease that will kill him. That was all in Act 1. And then everything else from Act 2. Thank you to Throat/Dale. Hire Dale to power wash your home. I just talked to one of you who had Dale power wash your home. Very kind of you. 231-740-4098. That's who you want to call. Superior Cleaning and Power Washing. Power wash the home, power wash pavement, power wash landscaping. If you have a restaurant, you need the restaurant clean. You can do that too. You need the hoods above the fryers and the grill. You have to have a certified person do that, and Dale has all the certifications to do that. So hire Dale. 231-740-4098. 231-740-4098. Thank you to Blue Frost IT, the managed IT service provider for my podcast. All the purchases I make when it comes to computers and equipment, I basically just tell them, hey, what do I need for this, this, and this? They tell me. That's your wish list easy. I say, buy it and set it up. That's how it works. And you can utilize them for your business or your home as well. 616-200-8550. I have a vouch store that merges creators with small business. Various products for sale. Vouch.store/Eric Zane for you to check out. Today on Who Are These Broadcasters with Christian Bale, I'll be joined by Husey and Carl from Who Are These Podcasts. We will be breaking down the Howard Stern Joe Biden interview. You can watch it for free live. All you have to do is search Who Are These Podcasts on YouTube, and you can watch the show live or watch it on demand later, or watch any of the other shows that we have done together. That starts at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. All right. Asshole of the day. I got to settle on something here. I guess I'm going to have to put my pal Doug on there for biting my head off at least 3 times yesterday at the restaurant, for fuck's sake. We don't have a lot of assholes today, but somebody's got to win. So there you go, buddy. Okay. That's my time. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm on Patreon in mere moments, and I'm looking forward to you being there. Try it free. If you enjoy the free podcast, you'll love the Patreon. I do an extra 30, 40 minutes every day after this one. That's also where Big Fraud Thursday is going to happen this week, featuring Who Are These Zanes? Ben Glaze and myself reviewing old material of mine. That's a hoot. And then the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast after. That will be part of a Big Fraud Thursday. All right. Talk to you then. Till next time, folks. Have a good one. Bye-bye.